Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you. Oh, and the saga continues. Shirley Strawberry literally married a man that it seems not only did she not fully know, but it seems like Ernest doesn't really know himself at this point. Ernest has so many different aliases, so many different wives, one new one that we're going to add today, as well as new charges that will make his initial charges look like jaywalking. We are going to get into this Ernesto and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Now this needs to be a new episode of Who the Bleep Did I Marry, because I know Shirley is asking herself that question every single day. In our last video, we went over Shirley's marriage to Ernest and how it happened on his 50th birthday, January 9th, 2015. But what we did not know is that Ernest was already married to a woman named Martha. He married Martha on September 1st, 2001, and their divorce was not final until 7 years after his marriage to Shirley, December 29th, 2021. So what does that mean? You can't be married to two different women at once, making his marriage to Shirley null and void, which is actually a good thing for her. But did you guys know that there's another wife? I got plenty of DMs from you all asking me about Carol. Even the close family members to Ernest that I've been in connection with has told me about Carol, but this person did not know Carol's last name. They were just hearing rumors that there was a Carol that he was married to, but obviously Carol wasn't really in the midst like other people because this person didn't really know about her like that. So if you look at the write-up about Ernest and his 24-hour barbershop, they spoke about how he opened this with his wife at the time, Carol. Now, for a brief moment in time, Carol and Ernest were actually a force to be reckoned with. Carol had excellent business sense. I looked her up. She was opening up businesses left and right, a smart woman. Paired with Ernest, who had some good ideas, the two were working pretty well together. She came into the marriage having her own, and she worked hard and she played hard. Ernest worked hard, but he conned even harder, and when he did, things did not go well for the two. Finances started cutting up. Now, these two got married June 28, 2008. But wait a minute, wasn't he still married to Martha? Ernest has a thing for older women doing well for themselves, and the minute he gets a hold of them, things go from sugar to ish real quick. So Carol ended up filing for divorce from Ernest. Now, the reason for this divorce is because the marriage was irretrievably broken. This is what everyone uses. And the date of separation was September 15th, 2010. So a little over 2 years of marriage and it was done. Now, these two had a settlement agreement that was signed by both parties. She kept her clothing and personal belongings, and he kept his clothing and personal belongings. He kept his trucks and his cars, and so did she. Now, the interesting thing is that he got to keep his mobile barbershop, and his mobile barbershop was called Ernesto's Mobile Barbershop, which was separate from Ernesto's Cuts. Ernest had to surrender Ernesto's Cuts Inc. to Carol, and he also had to pay the rent up because it was delinquent for 2 months. Now, she made it very clear that she would pay all of her debts, but he needed to pay all of his debts. Whatever he walked in with, he got to keep, and whatever she walked in with, she got to keep. That was including her home, her 401k, everything she had in the bank. She wanted to make sure Ernest did not get a hold of that, and he agreed to it. He didn't want it. Now, I'm not really sure what eventually played into the divorce between these two, but I wouldn't doubt finances played a huge role. Now, these two signed the agreement, and the next month on February 28, 2011, the divorce was finalized. But y'all have to remember, this man was still married to Martha. It seems like this man had 2 invalid marriages, because he got married to Carol while he was still married to Martha, and he got married to Shirley while he was still married to Martha. He didn't divorce Martha until 7 years after being married to Shirley. So were either of these marriages even valid? So Ernesto ends up with Nesto's Buckhead, and it seems to be a thriving barbershop. And did you all know that this was the same barbershop that the husbands from Married to Medicine went to when they were afraid of getting in trouble by their wives when the sexy girls walked out? Did y'all know that? That was Nesto's. Shirley, the problems might have started at the barbershop, but I ain't want to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me. So let's get into this new possible superseding indictment that Mr. Ernest has going on. Now, on September 20th, 2023, the Assistant District Attorney for the White Collar Crime Unit in Fulton County filed a motion for nolle pros, pretty much stating that they do not intend to prosecute. It says this: comes now the state of Georgia in the above captioned case and files the state's motion to nolle pros. Defendant hereafter, Ernest Williams, having been charged with the offenses indicted in the above style case above, upon filing and docketing of warrants and the offenses being a felony, and a thorough and exhaustive review of the facts and circumstances of this case, revealing the following. Defendant was indicted on September 29, 2022 and charged with one count of theft by services in the case ending in 4402, and on the same date defendant was also indicted in the case ending in 4403, where he was charged with one count of theft by taking and one charge of operation of credit repair services organization. After additional investigation, defendant now has additional unindicted cases in Fulton County, and I counted 7 different cases arising from warrants from the Roswell Police Department, the White Collar Crime Unit, in collaboration with the Human Trafficking and Internet Child Exploitation Unit, intends to seek a new superseding indictment in this matter in the interest of justice and judicial economy. Wherefore, the state respectfully requests the court to enter an order of nolle pros in this matter. Respectfully submitted on this day, September 20th, 2023. When I told you that Ernest had bigger fish to fry, baby, I meant it. Those other charges mean nothing compared to what he has coming up. Fish don't fry in the kitchen and beans don't burn on the grill. These victims are telling some unimaginable stories. People have been held beyond their will. There's a lot of stories you're going to hear about this bus. You're going to hear about some kidnapping, and I have an inkling, just an inkling, that somebody is going down with Ernest. I don't think it's Shirley Strawberry, but I did get word that he has not been working alone. We'll see. I'm not sure what it is about you, Ernest, but you are able to take these smart, beautiful, educated black women and just melt them in your hands like putty. Get them to do whatever you want them to do, buy businesses, give you money, write checks, do all this stuff. Then you leave them high and dry. Like 9 times out of 10 from these women that I've looked at, everyone has to start over after dealing with you, Ernest. Why? Just reading about this man, I see a man that's diabolical, insensitive, manipulative, egotistical, money hungry, and a person who is thriving to be famous. But guess what, Ernest? You're famous now. Everybody knows your name and your picture. Hopefully, Ernest will stop his marrying spree, especially now that he's in jail. What we need to do is hear from you. What do you think about Ernest, his other wife, Carol, and everything going on with this new superseding indictment that's coming up? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.